Hey everybody, it is Vaping Cookie. I'm always apologizing to you because it's been a long time. I have a ton of videos that I've already shot, juice reviews, and a review of my Cool Fire 2 that I'm going to show you in a minute, and I just have to edit them. That's the whole thing. I went to VCCT, and I was going to take footage for you guys, and I went with my phone thinking I could just, discreetly take some video inside the venue, and then once I got there I completely forgot to do it. So I have videos leading up to it, like of me in the car, me in the hotel, all that kind of stuff, and I never took any video inside the actual event, so it would be stupid to have done a vlog. I was thinking about doing a vlog of a different sort. I have a little handy cam now, and I was thinking I would do some vlog videos, some vape vlogs, but actually take you out and about with me. If that is something you might be interested in, will you let me know in the comments below? If not, I'll probably do my weekly vlog video like this and just keep it the way it is with my background here. My background that is really, really dark. I don't know. I need to get lighting. That's the whole thing. I think I'm just going to go ahead and invest in some lighting, and then things will get much better. I've got it the best it's going to be for the time being, so we'll just roll with it. So I think I'll talk to you guys a little bit about VCCT, and I think the stuff that you might want to know. I'll tell you a little bit about the event. I know that people have already done videos about the actual event with actual footage, so I thought maybe I would tell you about the people that I actually talked to and met and do it that way. So I got there on Friday, and at first I was a little bit, I don't know, I don't want to say disappointed at all, because the venue was huge and there were quite a few vendors there. I don't have anything to compare it to, but I thought they did an amazing job. It was just, I didn't know anybody. James was supposed to go with me, and at the very last minute, like 2 days before, he found out that he had to work, and that was mandatory. So for a while I thought it was just going to be me, and not so fun. My mom decided that she would go, and then at the very last minute she decided that she would take my son. So even at that, I didn't have anybody that could actually go into the event with me. I wasted a ticket because she couldn't go in with my son. You can't take a child, obviously, and you don't want to, into the vaping convention. So I think I'll just tell you what I'm vaping as I go. I've got my iTaste 134 here from Inikin, and on it I have an iClear 30B. This is one of the ones that came with my Cool Fire 2, the grenade mod that I'm going to show you soon. And then these vape bands. Probably seen these everywhere. They were the thing at that Tampa event. And mine says, this blue one says Vape Strong. And I hope I say this company right. Pananal is the manufacturer. And Andrew from them actually gave me this. Andy? Does it go by Andy? I don't know. But he actually gave this one to me, which was really nice of him. So I've got that going here. And the juice inside. Something else you've probably heard about is the Baker White Strawberry Fields. I only paid for 2 juices at the event, and this was one of them. I mean, Baker White, they have amazing juice, but especially their Strawberry Fields, it really does, in my opinion, live up to what everybody else says about it. It's really, really good. It's more of a true strawberry versus a candy strawberry, if that makes sense. And it's really good. I bought 2 bottles of 12 milligram at the event, and I cleaned out everything they had. I got the last 2 bottles. It's so good. It's so good. The iClear 30B, I'm not really sure if I'm digging these or not. I don't know. I've got 2 of them, and I'm having the same issue with both of them. They're quite a bit gurgly and sometimes a little bit leaky. I feel like if I go and fill them up, they always leak. So I'm learning now that I have to put just a little bit of liquid in each time, or it doesn't work out at all for me. Sorry, my camera just froze there, and I didn't know if you were still with me. But really, that is an excellent, excellent juice. I really am enjoying it. But not so sure about the iClear 30B. Not sure if I'm loving that or not. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I have my other iClear 30B here on my Cool Fire 2, and this is going to be the next device video that I do. I bought one of these, I think they were $40 at the event, and I really like it. It's hand friendly. That's the thing. It just fits, I don't know, comfortably in my hand, and my finger is always right here on the trigger. I really enjoy it. So yeah, I'll do an entire video all about this mod and show you close-ups and things. I know it's been done before, but I think that having more beginner perspective could be helpful for some of you out there. You know, back to the event. I was there on Friday and I didn't know anybody. Well, the first person I heard when I was in line, I didn't see him first, I heard him, was Robert the Armed Vapor, and it was really cool to meet him. So he and I kind of went off in different directions. He was making a beeline for the Zen booth because there were 20, I think, ZNAs up for grabs first thing each day. One set Friday, one set Saturday. So he made a beeline for that side of the room, as did everybody else. I didn't know at the time that they were all trying to get there. So I just took off to the right, and I didn't see him for maybe another 30, 45 minutes, something like that. And when I met up with him again, he was sitting at what I call the cool kids table. There were people all around him. I didn't know it at the time, but they all do shows. They have shows on, I guess, Vape TV, Vaughn, and other networks. So I didn't know them. I've only ever heard Robert's show on those networks. So he was sitting with all of them, and oh my gosh, was I outclassed. Seriously. I mean, he had his ZNA and he had his other beautiful mechanical devices. Other people at the table, lots of homemade, beautiful mechanical, wooden, regulated, everything that you can think of, and all rebuildable atomizers. So here I am showing up with, my bright pink MVP, and I don't even think I had the K-Fun on it at the time. I think I probably had a Pro Tank on it. And I felt absolutely ridiculous. Robert, you are so nice. Thank you for always being so kind to me. We are buddies now in real life as well. But yeah, everybody else at the table was kind of, I don't know, they all knew each other and they weren't rude or anything, but they were all in their own conversations. So I didn't want to intrude there, and I didn't really know where else to go because I was on my own. So Friday at first wasn't all that fun for me. It's amazing that I ever get any videos done. I can't make it through a video without somebody walking in. But anyway, I was at the event, and all the cool kids were at their table doing their thing, and I just felt uncomfortable. I didn't have anybody to really talk to about, I don't want to be a hanger-on with Robert and interfere in his conversations. So I ended up going to the Westin early. I waited and met up with my mom and Nate, and then I was kind of hesitant, I think, to go back. That's kind of how it was for me. So I was feeling kind of down in the dumps when I first walked in, and I had the broadcast to do the next day, and my confidence level, to be honest with you, was really, really waning. So the sweetest thing happened. I have looked all over my Gmail account to try and find this comment, but one of you sweet people out there, if you commented me on Friday the 21st of February, you know who you are, and you have no idea the impact that your comment on one of my YouTube videos meant to me. It just came as one of those things that came at the exact perfect time. So it was a gentleman, and he said basically, thank you for doing what you do, because we have all of those people out there that are advanced, that are doing rebuildable videos about mech mods, really highly technical stuff, running numbers, that sort of thing. But there aren't a whole lot of people that are still kind of new to it, covering things like the MVPs and egos and, more starter stuff. So that comment meant the world to me. When I met Dimitri walked in on Friday before I went back to the hotel. And, he's so nice, and we hugged each other, said hello, that sort of thing. But after that, he knew everybody at that event. So if I'm going to walk around with Dimitri, I'm going to be standing behind him while he talks to people that don't know me. So there was no way I was going to do that And I just felt a little bit ridiculous, to be honest. So when that comment came in, I was like, huh, I do have a place here. I do have a place on the vape team. I do have a place, you know, at this event. I do have something to offer. And that is the beginner's perspective. No, I'm not in a phase where I'm still, well, I can't say that I don't use my Ego Twist batteries, because I do. And even though I have gotten a little bit into the K-Fun style rebuildable, I'm still totally new to a lot of things. Like when I was interviewing people and going up to their booths and things, I was watching the replay of the event. You know, Phil and Dimitri know all of that stuff, so they can look at a box of mechanical mods and say, oh, that's this and that's that and that's that. I don't know all of those things yet. I just don't have that wealth of knowledge quite yet, but I still have something to offer as far as that beginner's perspective. I'm going to see the world, and I'm going to see vendors, and I'm going to see the whole vaping situation a little bit differently than they do. So I really appreciated your comment. It just came at the exact perfect time that I needed to read it. So you have no idea. You have no idea, but that meant the world to me. There are so many of you guys that have been so nice to me, that have been like, okay, where are you? Where are your videos? But I was kind of in that phase where I was like, well, maybe I don't really have much to contribute. You know, I've been told that before, so sometimes you can sort of fall for it, you know what I mean, and buy into it. But that comment, all of your comments, your Twitter messages, and there are so many people I could shout out right now. Christine Hopkins, you and I talk almost every single day. You are so supportive of every single thing that I do. Every single thing that I do. Megan, oh my gosh, you are so nice. You are so nice. There are so many people that are so nice. I have to shout out Mark Nichols, because I told you that I would in a video. Just haven't done the video since I told you. He and I are twinsies because we both have our MVP 2s. Although I'm sure that he doesn't have one that is pink. I hope that you don't have. Do you have one that's Dimitri pink? That would be cool. So those are some people that I just wanted to quickly say. And oh wow, there are so many of you out there, and I really appreciate every single one of you. And that comment was what got me going back to the convention with a much bigger smile on my face. So I appreciated it. I forgot to tell you what is on my Cool Fire 2. I have another iClear 30B, still unsure about it, but the juice in here, this is a funny story. Okay, this is from Nick Vape. This is Nick Vape's watermelon bubblegum. And let me tell you, I have not put it down hardly since I put it in here 3 days ago. I absolutely love this juice. If you like watermelon, what is that, Hubba Bubba or Bubblicious or whatever, you will like this juice. It is incredible. It's in 12 milligram, I'm pretty sure. It's incredibles. Now this battery's going dead on me. All of my devices right now have dead batteries. Just shows you how much I've been enjoying vaping lately. So the first person from the vape team family that I saw at the event was Link. And I walked up to him and I said, hello. And I didn't really introduce myself or anything. You know, I felt awkward doing that. And he was looking at me for a second like, do I know this chick? Who is this chick? Oh, hey, it's Stephanie. And I was like, hi. And so he says to me, okay, I want you to go over to my booth and I want you to go get any juice you want. You just get whatever you want. So I asked him before when they had the 80% off sale, I said, well, what are some of your favorites? He told me blue suede shoes, black cherry cola, and their mellow gold, I'm pretty sure. So I make my way over to the booth, and I didn't know it at the time, but he was getting his ZNA. So once he got his ZNA and he comes back over, he's like, yeah, Stephanie, you get anything that you want. And I felt like super special. It's like, oh, I can do anything I want. I can try all these juices. And I went through and picked out a whole slew of them. And I was feeling quite special, right? So as I go and try to make my way away, this guy comes up and he starts talking to him and he goes, hey dude, you get whatever you want. You try every single juice, and they were giving away all of their juice that weekend for free. So it wasn't just me. I wasn't anybody special, but I felt really special for a minute or two there. Yeah, not special at all. So after I was talking with him, I told you that Dimitri came up and we started talking. Dimitri is the nicest guy in real life. And if you ever get around Dimitri, the thing that you have to know is if you are in a situation where you're going to be eating, he is going to feed you. He's a Greek. He's going to feed you. We all went out to dinner together. And I swear he ordered like 3 different appetizers. And it was so funny. When they started coming out, he just started piling them on my plate. Here, try this, try this, try this. And I didn't want to be rude or anything, so I was like, okay. And I tried calamari for the first time. He said it was okay. I thought it was really good. But there was like some kind of seafood dip, all of these things in my plate, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So by the time my meal came, I was stuffed already. And he's like, you're going to eat that, right? You have to eat that. And I was already full from the appetizers. So if you are around Dimitri, he is going to feed you. The other people from the vape team, of course, that I got to meet, I didn't get to meet James yet. I'm really sad about that, but hopefully I will meet him in the future. Jamie, and Helene. Oh my gosh. I could talk all day about Jamie and Helene. They are the cutest couple, number 1, in the world. But number 2, they are the nicest people. From the moment I met them, I was family. I mean, to me, I was family. They are absolutely the best. They are the best people on the planet. Helene is into makeup like me. She's not a nicotine vapor, but she was using 0 milligram nicotine and this really cool glassamizer. I never did get the name of that. I wish that I had. But she had it on MVP2. Now, theirs is a DNA 20 MVP2. And I am begging Jamie to make me one. He actually made it. It is really cool. And then Jamie was working with... What did he have? Oh, I saw it a million times. He even showed it to me. His brother made a cover for it. And I just totally lost the name. It's like the most... Oh my gosh. The original DNA 20 device. Why am I wanting to call it an otter? That's crazy. It's not an otter. An otter is a case for an iPhone. I need a vape. That's what I need. Find something here. All of my devices are dying. This is my Blue Moo. In another dying, seriously, look. A dying, you see that? A dying MVP2. I now have 3 MVP2s. And not a single one of them has battery. What the hell? This is my Moo Juice in my K-Fun Light Plus. And this one is my Blue Moon. Look, I have a Pananal vape band on there. I'm telling you, vape bands. It's the thing right now. I fit in. And, yeah, Blue Moo in a K-Fun clone. And not one charged battery. Can't believe that. In my head, it's totally an otter. The fuck is an otter? The fuck is an otter? It's a case for an iPhone. What the hell? You guys know this device. Another K-Fun clone. And the most appropriate vape band ever says, my camera sucks, guys. Mod whore. This was the one I actually bought. He gave me 2 vape bands. And that just wasn't enough because I needed the one that said mod whore. What's really cool about these vape bands and what I have used them for, my Vamo is like dying. Can you see it's kind of lopsided and funky? I've dropped it so many times. I put it down onto a table and it starts to roll and then it falls off the table onto the floor. And I've already broken the screen. Can you see that? It's really just dying. I have 6 devices going almost all the time now. That was my microphone, sorry. And I should have a 7th, by the way, but I'll get to that in a second. And yeah, my Vamo. So I put the vape band on there so it won't roll off the table, and it's worked really, really well. In this tank, my other K-Fun clone, I have Snickle Fritz from Ben Johnson, which I got from Craft Vapory, and it's really good. I ended up ordering it. And these K-Fun clones, I think the box says together best cooperation, if I remember correctly. I got mine off of eBay. They are so whistly. I know you guys can hear it, and I'm sorry. I'm still calling that thing an otter in my mind. heck? Any other time I would have my third MVP to show you. I'm going to go get it, actually. Put all these up here, and maybe I'll think of the phrase that's not otter. Who the hell? An otter. What is that? DNA 20. The most popular one. The fuck? I went into the bathroom. I left this in there when I was straightening my hair. It is my third MVP 2. Does anybody need 3 MVP 2s? Probably not. Mine was originally camo, and I think you might be able to see some of it there. Jamie and Helene were kind enough to give me a pretty sparkly purple mod cover, so I felt compelled to get a third MVP 2. This one has my Pro Tank on it, and it's got cinnamon candy from Midas in it, which is one of my very favorite juices. Now, Link did tell me that I'm not supposed to be vaping anything that's strong in cinnamon, so I try to lay off of it, but I just can't stop. It's so good. Oh my gosh, you guys, seriously. What the hell? No working batteries, 3 MVP 2s, none of them properly charged, and I taste 134 on red for the battery, and then the Cool Fire 2 in red. So, nothing great. That's spectacular. So, I did look up in the little break time there, I did look up the name of that mod. It is not an otter, it's an Opus D. Seriously, forgot the name of the Opus D. So that's what Jamie was working with. I think he had a Pro Tank on it, but I'm sure he rebuilt the heads to make it much nicer vape. Not that a Pro Tank 2 is a bad vape. You know, I like my Pro Tank 2s. I did talk a little bit about them being leaky, but the one that I originally got, the first set, was great. So I use that one still too. So yeah, everybody that I met was just so nice. And to top it all off, on Saturday, the nicest man in the world came up to me and said, "Vaping cookie?" I was like, yeah. I was sitting at the vape team booth that we had, and his name was Steve. So hi, Steve. You actually made it onto the broadcast, and I was so glad about that. If you guys have watched the replay or you got to see it live, Steve is the gentleman that talked to both Phil and Dimitri toward the end of the broadcast. He was diagnosed with emphysema, and he switched to vaping, and his wife is vaping now. And I had the most beautiful conversation with the both of them, and they were absolutely amazing people. I am so glad that I got to meet you, Steve. Steve, if you see this video, I just love you. I love your lovely wife, and it was just so nice to talk with you. It was absolutely great. Another person that took a picture with me, and I posted it to my Facebook, is Rob. Rob Autry, thank you so much for wanting a picture with me. That was really cool to me. And then somebody else came up and took a picture. Oh, I know his name. It was Fabian. Fabian, you took a picture of the vape team that I was able to get from you. So I really appreciate you guys sending those to me. And, you know, Saturday for me was much, much better. One of the best things about Saturday, when I first walked into the show, I see this long line of people. Whole line of people. It was like 2 booths back. And I'm like, the rock star is here. And that's exactly what had happened. At the very end of the line, with a great big smile and a camera, was Phil Basardo. So that was really cool. I walked past him the first time, and I know I looked exactly like this. You know, if you're a YouTuber, you know, Phil Basardo, he's the man, right? So here he was at the event, and I didn't wait in the line or anything originally. I went and sat down, and I was just watching the people. I love people watching anyway, but I was watching the people that were talking to him. The coolest thing about Phil, other than he is incredibly tan, and I am incredibly pale in comparison, but the other cool thing about Phil is when you're talking to him, there's nobody else around but you. He is truly a really, really nice guy. And so he's talking with all of them. I went up and introduced myself and gave him a great big hug. And he was so funny. He's like, "I know who you are." And that was really cool to me. So I did the broadcast with him, and he liked to embarrass me. So I hope he had fun with that, because I'm very easily embarrassed. And that played off pretty funny on camera, I'm sure. But Phil is a really, really cool guy. So think I've covered everything. There's probably a million and one things I forgot. I'm sorry if the editing for this video is terrible. So I think I've covered everything except for the live broadcast itself. So in the lead up, the days leading up to the convention, I thought that my job was going to be to look at the chat. There's an ongoing chat when you watch the live broadcast, and I'm sure people were going to have questions. So I thought my job was going to be to get those questions and somehow relay them to the guys so that they could answer them. The day of the convention, I found out for sure I was going to be broadcasting with them. And the plan was going to be for Phil and Dimitri to man one booth, and then me to go to the next, and so on and so forth, all the way through the convention hall. I was terribly nervous. I mean, I have no idea what to ask people, how to present myself. I'm okay here, you and I'm talking with you, you're my friend, but it's a whole other thing to go up and introduce myself and ask the right questions at a booth. So I was really nervous about that. Then Dimitri said, you know what we could do? We could both tag team. And we somehow convinced Helene to do the broadcast with me. As soon as she agreed to it, I felt 100% better. I was cool. I was like, oh, she's going to be with me. I won't be by myself. But poor Helene was so nervous. She was like, what do we say? What do we ask them? And I'm like, I don't know. We'll just go with it. So that's kind of what we did. And I felt really nervous. Like, it's so funny. In the beginning of the video, I've got like my whole back to the camera and I'm like, tell us what you like. And I would totally turn my back on the audience and all those things, but I got better at it, I think, as it went through. And by the end, I felt pretty comfortable. So I think we made it through the live broadcast and did it really. Geez, I watched it back because a lot of it I missed because I was running from booth to booth getting ready each time for the next one. Phil and Dimitri are hilarious together anyway, but they're also really good at presenting things. I wish that I could, and maybe one day I will get better at it to where I feel much more natural, but yeah, those are things I think you learn as you go. So the broadcast itself was a lot of fun once, the jitters made their way through my body. That didn't sound good, did it? So the other thing that I noticed, and the last thing that I'll say about VCCT, it wasn't at all like ECC in the people that were there. Florida, we're just kind of laid back, aren't we? I live here in Florida every day, and when I go out somewhere, I wear flip-flops, I wear jeans, I always wear my sweater, which Dimitri makes fun of me for my sweaters, but do any of you guys get cold now that you're vapors? I was never cold before, and I'm cold all the time. Maybe I'm over-nicked all the time. I don't know, but I always have a sweater because I'm always cold now. I also did lose a bunch of weight. Maybe that's it, but anyway, I always have a sweater, but most people at the event were dressed in, shorts and t-shirts, and a lot of people were carrying around egos with the, CE4 type clear misers, and that's just how we've been rolling here in Florida, right? For the most part. There are many people that, were at the event that did have mechanicals, but I noticed that there were like two tiers. There was like the vapor, kind of like me, the ego style clear miser person, and then there was a person that was like way off the charts and they were fighting tooth and nail for ZNAs. Not a whole lot of people in between. Besides myself and Helene, I didn't see a whole ton of people with MVP2s. I didn't see a whole bunch of people buying the cool fires and things. Maybe it's something that I missed. You know what I mean? I wasn't everywhere at every time. But I noticed in the gear that was for sale, there were not a whole lot of mech mods there. There were not a whole lot of rebuildable atomizers there. I saw a whole slew of ego batteries. People were giving them away, and, that was the thing. Mod covers and all that kind of stuff they just weren't there. They're not what I saw. I have a whole bag full of juices to try. Oh my gosh, when people say that you get a ton of juice at an event, it is true. It's absolutely true. I saw Darth Vader walking around giving away juice. I saw a guy that was caped giving out juice. But yeah, by and large, it was kind of the more beginner vapor. And I think, as far as our future with vaping, I hate to get all serious on you here at the end, but the beginner vapor is the future of vaping. Not to say that people won't come out with better regulated mods or better mech mods or better and better rebuildables. All of those things are coming. But what I'm talking about is regulation. I notice in my conversations with people at the event and just, day to day, there's something to be said for the passion of the beginner vapor. You know what I'm talking about. If you've just recently gotten off tobacco cigarettes and you are, vaping and you're just pumped and you're excited, that's the person that we need to reach. That's the person that's going to do something. That's the person, sometimes they start their own juice companies, which I don't think is, the best idea. But sometimes they get really involved with activism. And I think if we can reach the beginner vapor, and even more importantly, if we can reach all of the people surrounding the beginner vapor, what I mean by that is all of the people who are your family members, are your friends, who are glad that you're not smoking, that's how we can actually do something. I hate to get all caught up in my channel about activism because I think that we're just seeing that everywhere. I'm not a person that likes to follow the news. I find it incredibly depressing. That's just me. I'm exposed to quite a lot of it regarding e-cigs because that's something that I'm passionate about. It fills up my Twitter feed, it fills up my Facebook and those kind of things, and I am much more active with that. But I'm just talking about the person who's just started vaping that doesn't quite know that regulation is coming, and it is coming, and it's going to be bad. If we can somehow find a way to reach the beginner vapor, that's how we will move forward. If we can find a way to reach the family members and friends of the beginner vapor, that's how we can change things. So I think it's really important, you beginner vapors out there, that you get involved. And it doesn't take a ton of your time. It's not something that you're going to have to go and devote your life to, But it is something that I would like for you to think about if you would. So I think I'll talk to you more about that in a future video. I have a whole bunch of stuff coming, all kinds of juice reviews. The way I think I'm going to do my juice reviews is I'm going to do them one at a time. I'm going to sit here today and I'm going to film a couple right after this video, and then I'm going to present them in short format, for me, and just go over one juice at a time, what I think of each individual one. I'm going to warn you that it's just my point of view. That's all these videos are ever anyway. And I'll just give you my opinion. If you have a flavor profile that's similar to me, you might find that, helpful. Why is my phone going now? This is the video from hell. I have the Cool Fire 2 video. I was hoping to have a video for you on the new Vapor Shark DNA 30, but I just got an email from them a few days ago that they never sent it out. There was a problem with the 510 connection. Frustrating. As soon as that comes in and I've had a chance to use it, there will be a video on that too. If there's anything that you've seen me using or heard me talk about that you want to see a video on, please let me know. One of those videos that is definitely coming, so many of you guys have asked me for a comparison video between the MVP2 and the iTaste 134. To me, those are quite different devices. I will be glad to do that video for you, and I may even add the Cool Fire 2 into the equation. If that's something that you would like to see again, please let me know in the comments below. So I was thinking I would do an iTaste 34 versus Cool Fire 2 versus the MVP2. What do you think? Does that sound pretty good? So that one is definitely coming, whether it's the 2 or the 3. Other than that, I have some really cool giveaways coming up. I made some connections at the trade show with a couple of juice companies who would like to do giveaways with you guys, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm sure I'll be spending money like it's going out of style on vaping gear in the future. So if there's anything you'd like to see, anything you would like to hear, or maybe I'll just do a shout out portion at the end of these vlog videos. So if you would like me to say hello to you, I would love to do that. Just let me know. You can always reach me on Facebook, on Twitter, on here through the comments. I've been kind of better, but not perfect at them, but I will keep my eyes posted for your comments and I will respond to them. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a really good vape week. Just enjoy the hell out of vaping. Alrighty, I will see you soon.